line. Hey, the radio, pit crew is far from slow. The lights no longer yellow. Ready, steady, go. Crank it up. Oh, it's racing. 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 In love with the ride. Burning rubber smells real nice. Fuel it up once or twice. Come on, fast is the way to drive. Crowds all on their feet. Not one bothered by the heat. Imagine them in the driver's seat. Checkered flag would be sweet. Crank it up. Oh, it's racing. 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 Everybody get ready. On your feet. Here we go. 3, 2, 1. Crank it up. Crank it up. Oh, it's racing. 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 Crank it up. Finger to the sky and a green light shining bright. The only thing I have in mind is the finish line. Check the radio, pit crew is far from slow. The lights no longer yellow. Ready, steady, go. Crank it up. Oh, it's racing. 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 In love with the ride. Burning rubber smells real nice. Fuel it up once or twice. Come on, fast is the way to drive. Crowds all on their feet. Not one bothered by the heat. Imagine them in the driver's seat. Checkered flag would be sweet. Crank it up. Oh, it's racing. 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 Everybody get ready. On your feet. Here we go. 3, 2, 1. Crank it up.
And greetings and welcome back here, ladies and gentlemen, here to PTM Racing TV, where we're live here and now under the bright lights of Bristol Motor Speedway, where we're going to see the drivers of the Pushing Limits Racing League go at it here tonight on this very short but very tough to master track in the Next Gen Cup Series. Hi again, everyone. I'm Christian Crusaders driver. Joining me along with me here, Kenneth Crawford and Ken, looking over our track info here in the slate here tonight. Currently, the weather holding up, track looking pretty good, and the gridding here getting ready to set up. I think we might be in for quite the show.
Yeah, everything's shaping up to be a really good race here tonight to showcase these cars. I think this is one of the first times we've seen these cars on PTM, and I'm eager to see what's going to happen.
It is the very first time we've ever seen these cars on the track, so let's take a look at our starting lineup. The ladies dominate this one. Chantel, the throttle bottle, will be our starter around the gate. Her outside of her will be Cindy the Closer Taylor, 07. Run number 2, Matthew Hopper, the 28 is outside. The Rattlesnake, Robert Kahn in the 21. Run number 3 is going to be Nick Kern, the 69 is outside. Keith Checkmate Taylor, the 08. Run number 4, Dustin Sonaker, the 66 outside. Jeffrey Todd Tufts, the 72. Row number 5 is going to be Wally Babin, the 099 is outside. Brandon Pike, the number 12. And your final starter sees Jerry Keeney in the back of the pack, and then outside of him will be Eric G. Gann rounding out the field. You hear the horns, you hear the music. That can only mean one thing. It is time to initiate. It is time to get this race up and running. Ladies and gentlemen, this is the season finale here for the Next Gen Cups, for the not just Next Gen Cup Series, but this is the final race for Pushing Limits Racing League Season 2. And it all goes down here and now at Bristol Motor Speedway. Again, we're getting ready to crawl these drivers off out of turn 3 and some down into turn 4. The roar of the music, the roar of the crowd can only symbolize one thing. It's time to go racing at Old Bristol Motor Speedway. They'll lead them off the charge out of turn 3 into 4. Hop down to it, my friends. Let's get down to racing. Here we go.
Down here to the start, we have the number 5, Chantel Pottle, with an early lead coming around. It's followed by the number 07, Cindy Taylor, as she cuts up high and Cindy goes low.
Cindy will have to work her way around the bottom line as the throttle. Chantel Pottle works her way on the upside, trying to make it stick up there a little bit longer than anything. You can see Cindy already trying to work the bottom in as much as she can, trying to keep it to stick through the back end of the front straightaway. Here they lead them off. It'll be Nick Kern, the 69, trying to hold down the K&N number 28, trying to stay with him in his pace here as Keith Checkmate Taylor looks to try to get up there with the ladies here as they battle it out amongst each other. We're in the onboard camera. You can just hear the rev limiters being pushed to their limits and put to their power. Now, Kern, I'm telling you right now, man, we got some serious good stuff going out there for him in that tied 69. But again, you know, trying to take down one of the guys like Matthew Hopper has finally got a race win in the Super League Miles here at Pedal to Metal just last week. I gotta believe short track racing has really been a key to his ally here at Bristol, wouldn't you think?
Yeah, definitely. I think that he's, with that win under his belt, it gives you a little bit of confidence. You know, he loosens things up, kind of knocks the dust off that. It definitely helps in the long run.
Certainly does indeed, and right now he seems to be holding up okay here in the top 5, even though he's 2 spots back down. The Robert Kahn there in the Mobile 1, number 14 tonight, apparently still has yet to remember how to set a 21 on that car, although it is a custom paint scheme, so don't be afraid, don't be alarmed. And even the 5 Chantel Bottle rocking a little new look out there, actually a custom number 5 on that one. She said it took her a little bit to get it set up and just right, but she's definitely proud of the work here.
Oh yeah, definitely. And as she goes out there and she's running first, it's no surprise in practice and qualifying she set the fast time. So to see her get an early lead out there, definitely is good. And yeah, maybe she has something a little bit to prove because she was on her long winning streak there in the super late models. So maybe she's got a little something to prove tonight.
For those at home that do not know, there was super late models last Thursday night. It was a barn burner fight to the end. The strategy coming more into the 5 key role there, if you will, but unfortunately she ended up falling back and ended up getting into serious trouble when the other Apollo clan member Stanley unfortunately gives her a little tag and a half, trying to enter into pit road and lock the brakes up, sliding through the grass and into her as she was going into turn 3 into 4, costing her any chance of getting around Hopford, and Hopford ending that winless streak that night. But right now we go back to the back here. Jeffrey Todd Tufts has a little bit of a fight here with that Money Lion number 22, the old Brandon Pike machine, looking to fight it out here.
Yeah, definitely. As you look, this is a pretty good battle going back and forth. And as we were talking about earlier, these cars are definitely interesting with the independent rear suspension that they don't necessarily handle just like a regular old Cup car like you're used to, and they just seem to kick out without any warning here. So we're going to see what happens here tonight.
They certainly do, and one big thing I'll tell you right now, folks, the way, if you probably notice some of these cars here, you see the way the track, what surface looks, the way these cars look. Notice that they don't really have that twisted sister scheme out there. They're more literally even edged out on the right and the left side, so they make them much harder to really master and to get a good run off of. And that's really one thing the drivers told me earlier today, as they've been struggling to try to figure out, is how to get the tires to last a little longer and how to make sure that they don't end up giving themselves more trouble than it's worth.
I think it's a lot of figuring out with these things tonight too, because I mean, some people, it's one of their first times driving this. I'm sure a lot of people practiced it, but these things definitely are difficult to figure out. And as you see the number 7 get Cindy Taylor get loose there a little bit, that they're definitely tricky to figure out. So
going on the onboard camera here with Cindy Taylor, and yeah, you can see definitely for sure what he's talking about there. As you can see, you're just moving and marching through the field trying to get the old 07 Mac lipstick hair products here, getting something going. She can't seem to quite keep up there with Robert the Rattlesnake Connor, Chantel Throttle Paddle. Pecan seems to be getting a little bit of a boost or two off these corners, getting a little bit more run in. Looks like the 5 slowing down slightly, maybe to conserve the tires just a bit more. That's one thing we have noticed on our show before, is tire saving can be a big help and a big rundown, but what do you do when you don't have much of a tire left on these things? But that's where the uniqueness of next gen cars come into play. They actually have a little bit more rubber to them because they're a bigger tire with a bigger brake system, so they're more designed for short tracks, and they're more designed to keep you out on the short tracks and really fight it out there.
Like you said, it's a bigger brake package, it's a bigger tire package, it's the center lug thing. It's all different, and it's a lot of figuring out. As it looks like Cindy Taylor has it figured out here a little bit, going for the pass on Robert the Rattlesnake Con there.
We're going to make the move on the inside line. She'll charge her way off around out of turn 2 this time by, and now it is time for the map makeup machine. The 07 Ford Mustang to get ahead of that Chevrolet Camaro. Trying to hold him down though right now is the Rattlesnake. She is not giving an inch to him. Cindy on the inside line makes a run for it. Everybody's starting to pile up with a little bit of smoke coming out of the transmission. Some of these drivers, each one of them having a little bit of trouble down there keeping their tires under bay.
Yeah, and it's interesting to see what lines are going to work with these things. Like I said, everything's so new that it looks like that low line seems to be a little bit faster, but also it could be a factor of it just wears it out a little bit quicker, and you see a lot of these people are running up top here tonight.
It certainly is. You can see Con and Cindy still battling out. Meanwhile, in the back of the pack here, Brandon Pike still not going to give an inch here. Of course, the old 72 of Todd Tuss. Pike's giving everything she can here, trying to see if this thing will go any faster, if it can hang on anymore. Tuss right now trying to show he can put up a fight no matter what series he's in, or no matter what he is running. You usually see him more in the Xfinity and the SLM series, but tonight here driving the next gen cup cars, I'd say right about now he's having a little bit of his money's worth. Even Dustin Sornaker having a little bit of a get around here there, Kenneth.
Yeah, looks like they're getting awfully close here tonight. And something else we talked about with these things too is the new cars. They're not your regular old sheet metal and all that. They don't get bent up as easy. They're composite carbon fiber bodies, so they'll withstand a little bit of abuse. You know, bounced off the wall a little bit, you still might be all right. So a little bit of contact with these things might not be as detrimental as it used to be.
May not be in this case here, but you see actually Jerry Keeney, we're trying to get a camera angle on that one as they were going around him, having to make a pass in there. Keeney nearly getting in the trouble zone and getting in the way there, causing a little bit of a headache. And speaking of causing a headache, the ladies are giving up a headache to the boys right now, because now it is Cindy the Closer Taylor making the run off around on the back straightaway to the front stretch now. Big pass there as even the 5 Chantel Bottle puts that front bumper to the corner panel there of Cindy. Looked like she was trying to kind of nudge her off, trying to get her back ahead. Obviously trying to live by the old mantra of the old Bristol Motor Speedway racing special. Little bump and run, if you will.
Oh, yeah, as we got a little lap car action here, see how they navigate as number 69 and Nick Kern. Like you said, the ladies tonight are definitely dominating, that's for sure.
Speaking of Nick Kern, Adam Whitenstiger, sorry if I'm saying your name wrong tonight, your bud, but Tim Kern, let's get it with the green, with the little checker flag. Unfortunately, right now, Kern though is in top 10 and struggling a little bit here, but he's still hanging in there with the boys and the girls here, I should say.
Definitely a lot of time to go tonight, that's for sure.
Yeah, you got 80 laps here to try to work your way through the field. You only got 2 Winston Barrows, and you got a couple of sets of tires you can use off. Yeah, I don't think they have anything to worry about. I think what they're really more worried about is just making sure they don't wreck each other or get into a mess and a madness tonight.
Yeah, not usually as our short track fashion here, but I mean, this is a pretty clean race so far. Yeah, I gotta admit, it's everything's good. There's no crashes, no incidents or anything like that.
Yeah, definitely wasn't what I was expecting either, to be honest with you. I thought I would expect at least a couple of them to kind of get overturned in the moment, kind of get overspun now in the corner. But no, they've been pretty conservative tonight. Jerry Keeney going to the back straightaway as Robert Kahn will have to try to work his way around him there.
Tight one there too.
That's a tight one where you go around here. This place just will be a mess, and it'll be a maddening heartbreak trying to figure out. There's only really two lines to work around Bristol Motor Speedway. That's the high and the bottom, but most drivers would say these days, at least back on those Gen 6s, you can run the bottom more than anything, and that's pretty much where most of them like to hide at. I've always been more of an outside kind of guy, though, to be honest with you.
I found that I had the most speed at the top of the track here, and I found it's a little bit more trickier, but it always seemed like it'd be worth a little bit more. As the low line here, you can definitely have good speed, and it's a little bit easier to run, but in my opinion, I like the high line as well.
For sure there. Right now, Cindy Dakota Taylor seems to have to jump around from high and low. She is making her way around the entire field, passing them left and right. And again, a lot of it has to do with how she was setting up the strategy here on pits and fuel. She's slayed it out a little bit longer. She ended up wading through it a little bit more, and pretty much ever since then, it's been just kind of grab and go and call it good from there. Live out of the 099 Ford Performance Mustang having some serious trouble there. Jerry Keeney coming to a sudden halt there around out of turn 2, it looks like, and here's even trouble for Keith Checkmate Taylor. Down in turn 4, can't quite see what happened there. It looked like he was trying to go into pit road and ends up almost spinning it completely out of there, Kenneth.
Yeah, I didn't really catch what happened there, but as Jerry Keeney has significant damage in the front and the back of his car. I'm not sure what happened there.
He definitely has a lot of damage indeed. Something does not seem to be right with that thing. Keith Checkmate Taylor trying to hold out, trying to keep ahead here as Jeffrey Titus and Dustin Sornicker now march their way back up to him. Now, even though we said earlier about these cars having a very little tolerance for damage, that doesn't mean necessarily that they last on damage. That just means they can survive for a little while. But right now, the 08 of old Checkmate, he has damage, and that is actually slowing him up badly there. And it is not working well for him. You go to the onboard camera here with Todd Tufts.
Oh yeah, and if you go to the number 28 too as well of Matthew Hoffer, he has significant damage on there too. So like you said, I don't think if these cars necessarily don't last longer, they can take a little bit more, but when you get hit that hard, it's hard for anything to stay straight, you know.
Matthew Hoffer unfortunately has broken something inside the car and having to go into pit road, so that will hurt his chances to really fight back around this place. It has been very clean and for the most part very stable. That was one thing I was kind of worried about the next gen cars, because you and I were practicing these things earlier on. I said kind of point blank, these things really do not have too much of a feel that you can explain easily, but I honestly kind of compared them to an 87's style on the turning and the way they kind of lined up on this car versus the mix up between the old Gen 6s that we have nowadays. That's kind of how I felt with them. It's kind of the look of a Gen 6 different, which is a little bit of a different manufacturer style, and then the rough edges of the 87s there that usually run in those Thunderboards or the Monte Carlos down there.
Oh yeah, and I think the best way I can explain these things as like the last generation of the NASCAR, these things are a little bit more unpredictable as the previous generation. You can almost predict a lot of stuff that they're going to do, and I mean, I think it's just going to go with time as everybody's going to understand these things a little bit more, that they're going to figure them out here and there, what makes them go and what makes them not go and all that.
Yeah, I believe Sir Paul actually joining us on in as well, asking on the show what is better to pass on, the high or the low. Ken, I would say probably a high line be where I would usually try to pass off of, but generally wanted to get a good pass and had to start up high and then dive down low to try to build the speed. What about you?
I'm going to go with that too, because what I found at this track in my past experience is that if you go low and you hit that apron just a little too much, it'll just send you out.
It certainly has indeed. Right now, Jerry Keeney, speaking of sending out, major troubles. Number 61, that front end and the rear end of that thing is damaged out badly. He is all over the place here, and honestly could be a bit of an issue or a threat, if you will, to these drivers. He's got to watch it down there and be very, very careful, because he's got drivers coming right up on him. So he charges away around here. Looks like he's actually going to slow down a little bit of that 5 and almost take her out for a ride there. Oh, boy.
That was a close one. That was definitely
That
a close
was
one.
close. Yeah, that was extremely close there.
Yeah, as we go back up here to the leaderboard here, as we got the number 7 listed as the leader now, and it looks like pretty much almost the whole field is lapped from third on back, as you only have Cindy Taylor, Chantel Pottle, and Robert Conn on the lead lap as it stands now.
Whoa, a little bit of trouble down there, unfortunately, for Matthew Hoffer as the caution flag flies for the first time tonight. Trouble down there for the Hoffer camp.
Whew.
That's the first time I've been able to bring out the PTM Instant Replay all night here. We'll see what happened here. See right here, Hoffer getting a good run down on that front straightaway here. Leads into the corner, into the turn. And he just got loose on his own there. Nothing he can do about it. He actually gets wide-bapped slightly there. And, you know, that's the problem when you're on fresher tires and you're trying to work the middle and the bottom. There is a little flat spot down there. It's very hard to tell, but there is a flat spot in there that what it actually does is it makes the car spin a little bit as they try to push on the speed, causing them to go a little sideways and a little all over the place, unfortunately.
Yeah, it's the risky run taken coming out of the pits on cold tires. It's definitely almost like you're on skates at that point until you get a little heat in them.
It is indeed, and right now with only about 20 or so laps left to go here, when we get back to the restart, key checkmate Taylor going to get his lap back, so Naker going to stay out as well to get that back. Jerry Keeney, in spite of all the damage up on that car there, he doesn't seem to want to go into pit road. Interesting strategy there. Although I'm not really sure how I would have fared on that one or that game plan. Cindy the closer Taylor right now still trying to find her pit box here. They have to work their way around the double pits here. That's one thing a lot of folks are not very aware of, is that yes, there are double pit roads here tonight.
Double pit roads are very tricky to figure out, especially if you're out there racing and stuff. As you take a green flag pit stop, it can get you real loose real quick. I've seen a lot of people lose races because of that.
You get you real loose real quick, but also, and honestly, it can be a bit of an even playing field when you're trying to get into pit road, because sometimes you don't even know which way you're going. And it looks like it will be key checkmate Taylor going into pit road here, so he'll actually have to fall back a lap or two back here to Cindy the closer Taylor. And Chantel Pottle will be right behind her with Robert the Rattlesnake on falling from behind here, Ken.
Yeah, it's a little surprising here, but don't count the old Rattlesnake out of here. And I mean, I think this is going to be a solid battle up here with number 1 and number 2, as they've been pretty dominant so far. As it shows who has the car understanding. Maybe they put a little bit more practice in here and there, or so on and so forth. I think it shows who put a little bit more time in. You know, these things are tricky to figure out, but.
Well, we did see earlier on, though, here with the first 20 laps or so, that actually it was kind of Chantel's run and Chantel's kind of battle there. Cindy was kind of holding back and just waiting for her to kind of make some mistakes and give her an opening, and she ended up getting it. But now, you see, it's kind of they rolled a reversal here. Did the 5 now have the speed and the momentum to try to take down her fellow sister in the racing world in here in the Cindy the closer Taylor? I mean, brothers race hard, but I mean, sisters, they will have no fear on taking you down once in a while, I gotta believe.
Oh, they'll catch you when you're not looking, that's for sure.
And you would know that all too well around here.
Oh, yeah, that's for sure.
All right, race fans, we're getting ready to get back to the action here. The driver's getting ready to settle them back down. Dustin Sonaker getting his lap back. So did Jerry Keeney, and I believe Keith Checkmate Taylor is on the lead lap. Todd Tufts, Nick Kern, all of them are a lap down of this 12-car field. Eric G. Gann was not able to make the call, unfortunately, tonight. So that is a bit of a tough break there for him. Looks like we're going to go one more lap around, because right now it is Nick Kern who is not on the lead lap yet. Or not on the lead lap, excuse me. He is not on the correct position of the laps here. It's actually down about, he's got throughout 3 laps on him right now. Actually about two full laps. Definitely going to hurt his chances here.
As the race goes on, I think you're going to see things heat up a little bit. You might see a little bit more cautions, and it might not necessarily count them out. I mean, as it looks, it might seem like it's pretty much over. As you see how it stands, as most people are a lap down, but as laps go on and stuff, a lot of things are going to happen. So don't count anybody out just yet.
We'll soon find out, race fans. We're getting ready to bring them back to the green. This next time by, we will get those lights off on the pace car. Everybody wants to get going and wants to get this race started back up, and I guarantee you Cindy is one of them. Knowing now she's going to be put in a predicament she has not been put in all day long. Hey, Kyle Jarrett even joining on in saying, wait a sec, where's the dirt? Kyle, you was on the dirt last night, but I had to change Bristol to literally back to an asphalt circuit here tonight, man. I'm sorry. But thanks for tuning on in. If you want to see some dirt, we do have Sonoma Raceway coming up next here for the Fast Fun Rally Challenge, and it's a track we've never shown either before here, so we're just kind of knocking all the cars and tracks off the list. Finally got the next gens out of the way, so we'll have Sonoma up next on the board, and that will be a track we have never shown, which we needed to get off the list sooner or later. We cannot wait to show you that.
Definitely can't wait to watch that one too as well.
It's going to be a wild one, as it usually is with those Riley boys, so we'll see what plays out and what plays down as we continue our world. Well, honestly, I'm just going to make it a kind of a reoccurring meme, but it's now our world tour. We are trying to search the globe, scatter the world, and get every single car, every single track on this show at least once. It doesn't matter if it's literally in a combination or if it's literally a track we've shown like 1,000 times, but a car we've never shown ever, or if it's 1,000 times we've seen the car and only once on the track. It don't matter. We are on a hunt. We're on a mission to get every single vehicle and track on this show for you fans at home, and also for our guilty pleasure, because come on, we just want to get every track out there and see what they can do and what each one can bring to the table. And we're going to see right here, right now, what these drivers bring to the table as they lean off out of turn 4 here. Ken, let's get back to races, buddy.
All right, ready to go. Is the number 5 gets a good start there off the jump, and looks like the number 21 got a little contact in the 07 there.
Got a little bit more than contact there at 6-1, and Jerry Keeney slowing up a little bit of the field here. Everybody scattering to get back up ahead, trying to catch up the field. Robert Kahn going to be back quite a ways here in the old Mobil 1 machine. Chantel, the throttle bottle, takes advantage here on Cindy. Cindy going off the bottom run, trying not to burn the tires up too quickly here, while you got a major fight back in the pack.
As you go back here, the number 66, Dustin Sloanaker, the number 69, Nick Kern, and Checkmate Taylor, it's a big battle going on back and forth as they thin out a little bit.
Nick Kern's still a lap or two down right now. He's trying to get that back, trying to get put back on the lead lap as they cross over around out of turn 2, down 3 and 4 here. It is Kern and Keith Checkmate Taylor side by side as the tie 69. Looking to turn the tie and maybe get himself a little bit of an opportunity at taking this one back from the field. James and Marauder Harris even joined us on in, saying, Bristol, baby.
Oh, yeah.
Brandon Pike here.
Yes.
Go ahead.
As we go back here to the number 69, number 8 battle and back and forth, this is definitely heating up. It seems like the number 08 has a lot more speed in the straightaways, as the number 69 has better exit on the turns a little bit. So
yeah, that's kind of the amazing thing to me. He's not giving him really any opportunities to make mistakes, or really giving him any chances to lose up on the ground. He seems to really have a good idea of where he wants to put that car at and how he wants to run it down. He's getting so much speed on the outside and all that. I feel like that really is where he wants to play the advantage point, especially with these final 10 laps coming up. As Cindy Dakota Taylor has now regained back up her position to Chantel throttle idle, and into the wall goes the 5. Big major opening has just been delivered, but Cindy was not able to capitalize. But with the damage on that right side, is that enough to slow down the 5 here as Cindy looks to try to make the move?
yeah, it looks like she's gaining a little bit. Oh,
it's definitely going to do more than that. She wrecks on the front straightaway, coming around. Major trouble, wreck caution.
Man. Definitely a tough break there. It looks like what I was saying earlier a little bit is when these things like to slide out, they're kind of unpredictable and you don't know what they're going to do. It just seems to just happen, you know?
Yeah, that certainly just happened right there. Good Lord almighty, a major wreck happening right there as they were coming across. Chantel Pato was trying to get that car recentered back in. We'll take a look at it from our onboard camera here. Let's take a look at this one. You can see when she tapped the wall going on that front straightaway, Ken, her car was already taking a slight bit of damage. When you're trying to build up that speed, you really need all that car stabilizing down to keep up with the speed, because again, the aerodynamics are not what you need to worry about. It's just trying to handle that rear end in the car itself, and it did not work that time. The whole field just kind of came around and gave her the big old smack and a hit in the grass.
Yeah, definitely multiple cars there involved with that one.
It was indeed there, and she will head into pit road. She is already going to have to use up an instant repair. while the rest of our field here will try to recenter off and get back in it. Cindy the Coulter Taylor looks like maybe she has a big opening just awoken in herself in that 07, because now the only thing she has to really worry about is old Robert Kahn and Dustin Sornaker really keeping up there with her and trying to fight her off.
Yeah, I think you shouldn't count Robert out. I don't think you should count Dustin out too. He's been on a pretty good streak lately too in the super late model as well, I'm pretty sure.
Yeah, it's going to be interesting to see which one of these drivers will be able to possibly put up a slight bit of a fight here, a little bit of a shot, maybe at taking down the old closer herself, Cindy Taylor. She's been pretty tough to beat no matter where she goes, though, on the track.
Yeah, I'd like to think that a lot of what this league presents is a lot of who is the best all-around driver on different kind of courses and cars and stuff like that. And I think that she proves that she can pretty much run almost anything on here pretty solidly. She might not always win, but it definitely plays to her advantage, and she can pretty much, you can throw her in anything and she can pretty much just drive it, and drive it pretty well too.
She seems to know how to do that, and then some. She's a former racing champion, actually a current season champion right now in the Pedal Metal Racing League Series, but that championship crown might be put to rest and put to an end, no longer with the Super Late Model Series, and also right now currently struggling to keep pace in the Xfinity. Her season might be ending there, and after tonight, folks, we do know one thing, because Khan did show up here tonight. He actually is going to be the season champion of Season 2 for Pushing Limits Racing League, where we saw Cindy and Keith battle it out last season. Robert Kahn managing to pull off some consistent battles and some big wins when it counted most. And tonight, this pretty much is all but secured his night, so he will take home the season championship trophy at the very end as we get ready to put this one in brigade and end the season out on a high of notes. Pace lights are popping up on the cars. Everybody now has to scatter and get into position.
Here, a pretty good little dash for the end, that's for sure. What do you think?
I'll be honest with you. I think it's going to be a wild, chaotic finish. I think we're going to at least say probably somebody get a little too antsy, a little too over the top on those corners, and may just drive it in a little too hard and may cause them to spin.
We shall see here as they get ready to go.
We shall indeed. They will line them off one more time by. We're going to get the cars in line, so it looks like we're pulling more towards the green, white, checkered. Just even adding on more to this here. You can feel the intensity. You can cut it with a knife, folks. We're ready to end the season now, and we're ready to put this one in the bag. And let me tell you something, we are still looking at an even bigger season. It's Season 3. New tracks, new cars still to be announced, and new stuff to be shown. And with iRacing even releasing a few other things in between, it makes you wonder what we will see from the Pushing Limits series. Will they bring out tracks maybe like the Mountain Hill climb there from Mount Washington? Or will they bring out Hickory Motor Speedway for a super late model race? It's only a matter of time before we find out for sure what we will get or what we will have. But I guarantee you one thing, if you're not tuned in each and every time on PT Race TV, you do not know what you'll miss and what you're getting. So be sure to like us up here on Facebook and follow us up as well, and then head over to YouTube and subscribe there. This race will be there its entirety as we get ready to put this one back into the spot.
Yeah, definitely. I'm eager to see what's going to be next season. I hear a little birdie say too that there could be a little wet weather going on there too as well.
I would be darned if they did not include that at like Bark River Speedway with the rain and those Pro True Light trucks. Man, I would swear I would have to be questioning who is even running this series and who's running that, because that is like a must for dirt racers. That is, you have to run in the mud eventually, and I got a feeling that will make for a good time. Call it down the middle, Ken. Let's get this one over with.
As we got the start going off here is the number 21 and number 66 battled out for second place. Is number 07 is Cindy Taylor kind of takes the lead. As the number 5 is Chantel Pottle gets a little loose, and as they thin out here a little bit, there's a little battle going on back with third there, Checkmate Taylor and the number 66 Sparky.
Oh, Sparky is going to get a little piece of him though. Robert Kahn gets tagged there and turned through, and unfortunately for him, ends his night on a low note, but to the finish line, it will be Cindy the Coulter Taylor winning it, and Dustin Sornaker. It's been a while since we've seen him podium, but he does podium here tonight. And I gotta believe Con can't be too mad. He did still win the season championship, but I gotta believe Sonaker was not too thrilled he ended up doing it like that. And Chantel Bottle mentioned he come up with a third place finish all the way from fifth. Not a bad way to end the night, but you guarantee you she was looking more towards a race win that Cindy kind of outdid her on tonight.
Yeah, I'm pretty surprised here tonight with what these cars kind of proved to themselves and how well they did and how well they hold up too. And I'm a fan. I got to say, I like them, at least so far. They haven't proven me any other reason not to like them.
Well, I would say the same thing here, and as time goes on, they develop in. It's only fitting we will see them really take control and take everything into account here. But right now, we're going to now show up here, your Season 2 champion. He wins Pushing Limits Racing League Season 2. It is the number 14 Mobile Ones, Robert Kahn. He'll win it all here, and pretty much because he showed up and had enough points to actually get a bye here, he didn't have to even worry about it. The title is his.
Yeah, no surprise there. He was very consistent throughout the season. He did a real good job, like I was saying earlier with Cindy, that can kind of put them in any car you can really think of, and they can drive it real fast.
They certainly can indeed. And what a night it was. What a race it has been here. Let's go ahead and take a look at our final results here for Season 2 of Pushing Limits Racing League, presented by PTM Racing TV. Cindy the Colder Taylor ends the night on the highest of notes, winning it all. Second to Dustin Sonaker. A great finish for him and a podium, to say the least. Chantel Throttle Paddle comes away third, while fourth goes to Key Checkmate Taylor. Fifth to Robert the Rattlesnake On. Sixth to Nick Kearns. Seventh to Matthew Hofford. 8 to Jerry Keeney, 9 to Jeffrey Todd Tufts, 10 to Brandon Pike, 11 to Wally Babin Gann, not able to make the call here tonight. But race fans, well, that's pretty much Ken and I's little last call we have for Season 2. Ken, I gotta head down there and talk with some drivers here, but what do you think? You think we got more coming up in the near future?
Oh yeah, if all allows and everything is good, I hope to be back here, and I'd like to. So maybe you'll catch me out here next season. This is definitely a good one to call for my first broadcasting call back and everything. It was fun. It was fun to watch, and I appreciate the opportunity. And I can't wait to see you next season and see if I'm doing it too.
We'll see what happens here, but nevertheless, Ken, pleasure to talk with you tonight, bud. We'll see you next time here on the show.
Yes, sir. Take it easy, bud.
You too. Old Ken Crawford, good to have him back on board here. First place finisher there, Cindy the Closer Taylor, coming out with this one here. Trying to get word from our drivers here and see who will be joining us here to talk with us about this race tonight. Looking for our field to come in. We had the top three just show up just a minute ago. That is who was on our call as who we're trying to wait on right now. We will give them about 2 minutes here, and if they do not reply back, then we will pretty much call this one a night, and we're going to go over to Sonoma here. So, again, race fans, if you're just tuning in for the first time, stay on board. We got a little bit of racing coming up, so. Kathleen Crawford saying, good job calling the races, Chris and Ken. Thank you again for that. Appreciate all you guys here, and appreciate all the love and support. It's been a great time and a great showing, and hopefully soon enough we can finally get our season going even more. But right now, we're going to be joined in real quick by the season champion himself. He comes up fifth here tonight, but walks away with the W and the championship trophy. It is the Rattlesnake Robert Kahn now joining me on in. And Robert, congratulations on that here tonight. But man, you had a lot of work to do to get through this season. Hold on, folks. I think you might have a little troubles down there. You got us there, Kahn?
Hey, can you hear me?
Yep, we got you.
Awesome.
So, hey, man, right now, top five finish here tonight, but pretty much all around season, you had to get even into the top five, much less into the victory lane circle for the season title. What was going through your mind throughout these events, throughout these races?
Hello?
Yeah, we got you.
Very cool. No, it was towards the end. I knew that if I had to finish, I think like 15th, and Nick finished like up in the top five. So, but I just wanted to have a good, solid race. But I tell you what, out of all the championships won throughout PTM, different venues, this one probably is going to be my favorite because it's such a different blend of cars you're driving. You're not just racing oval; you're racing like pro trucks, Beetles. Like you get the best of the best racing in this league, and it's probably one of the most fun. So, of my favorites by far.
I forgot I was going to go look at Sydney's left. For sure, they're here. We'll nevertheless here tonight, folks. It's been a crazy night here and a crazy race here to say the least here. So, Colin, I got to ask you, as you walk away with the season championship here tonight, who do you want to thank you for this one?
Every sponsor we have a big list of them. I got to get better at remembering them, but everyone who supports the league, you know, all the sponsors that help us out to make it what it is, all the staff, you know, you, coffee, bottles, everyone who really helps out with it. I can't say enough. Damien too. He's a pretty cool guy. But yeah.
Absolutely. Well, nevertheless, Colin, it's been a wild night, wild season. Congratulations on that championship, and we'll catch you next time when the green flag flies here on PTM Race TV.
Thanks, buddy. See you next season.
See you next season, indeed. Ladies and gentlemen, Robert the Rattlesnake Colin is your season champion, and that all but wraps it up here on the show. Thank you again to everybody that tuned on in here tonight, and the next time we see you here will be just a few short minutes. Fast and Fun Riley Challenge coming your way next. Be sure to tune on in and keep up with the show, and we'll see you here in just a little bit.